that's that segregated and that silo model where groups don't talk to each other, but they compete with each other because for federal or provincial or municipal resources. And so it's really about building the decolonization process for me is really about taking away that isolation, that compartmentalization, that silos, that segregation. It's about coming together on principles based on basic human rights that everyone should have an opportunity for equality of conditions or equality of opportunities throughout all sectors of society. And that's the work that we do through Alive. And it ain't easy.
Now, you've done a lot of work with W2, and just recently W2 has been shut out of their space.
Yeah.
Can you speak a little bit about that and what's going on there?
Yeah, I would like to back that up a bit too, before I go there, because prior, I've been involved in the Indigenous, particularly urban Indigenous issues for quite some time. I used to be the president of the United Native Nations, which is a provincial Aboriginal organization representing officer interests. And we moved our office into the downtown east side because we saw that place as ground zero for the ongoing colonialism. We put it there because we wanted to make a statement to everybody that we are here and we're with our people right there in the downtown east side. And when back in, that was 10.5 years ago now, about 20 of us met in our boardroom and we were discussing the Woodwards. We wanted to do an action around the Woodwards building. And so we decided, okay, well, let's organize a demonstration, an occupation of the Woodwards building. So between us, we built up our network and we did the initial occupation. And our demands were very simple. Urban officer self-government, we want housing, child, all those different types of issues that everyone should have. And that took a life of its own. It got dominated by a whole bunch of other people, and that Indigenous piece was lost. It's like we got all these non-Aboriginal activists that are taking ownership over this whole history, but there's so many powerful downtown east side Indigenous activists that were actually the main people that did that. So here we are 10 years later, and what do we have? For all that hard work, for all those people that occupied that place, slept in the streets and did all that activism. Well, it's W2 is what we have. W2 is a place that is the real legacy of that struggle for Indigenous people in the downtown east side. It's a place where on any given day you would have so many different Aboriginal organizations having their meetings in there. You have the artists, the hip-hop artists, the elders, people doing all kinds. It was great, but it wasn't just the Indigenous. You had the immigrant community in there, and even the business community. It was a place of really mixing and building networks and partnerships. So for us, W2 was a place that is exactly what we think every community center should be. The schools should be like this. They should be engaging, they should be inclusive, and they should be a place that hires us, have us on their board of directors, and have programming. And that's exactly what W2 was doing. So what it was really doing was building community. And so this,
why was it shut down?
Well, the city says, and this is what they say, and I'm very, I've been intimately involved with a lot of the information and process. The city says, well, W2 refused to pay this $90,000 amenity fee, or just about $90,000 amenity fee. So they've been in violation of their contract. They're in debt. Let's shut the doors down.
Right.
Essentially, is what they've done. And W2 has flagged with them that why are we paying an amenities fee when we are the amenity? We are the ones who are building community. You pay the community centers, you give them space, and you pay them. But here at W2, you're charging them to pay for what you should be paying them for.
Right.
So it's wrong. And I've worked with so many former city bureaucrats, existing bureaucrats, community organizations, and they all know that model is wrong. Why are you charging W2 $90,000 who are the amenity when you should be paying for it? And then at the same time, you're giving 10-year tax breaks to these large businesses in the downtown east side. So why are they shutting that down? I don't know. We are organizing we've got a big group of people that are really concerned around this. And
you recently had a protest outside the
Well,
City Hall.
there was the Idle No More thing, protest there, but we had a press conference,
Right.
because what they did when they shut the doors down, without consulting the community at all to this day.
Yeah, now,
But-
explain that a little bit. What?
There's been no consultation
Yeah.
at all. And we've even told the top level bureaucrats, listen, how can you negotiate with the W-2 board or executive of the board who have have not given the authority to them to close it down? And the city people just sort of like, they don't know what to say. So there hasn't been a board endorsement to shut W2 down or to negotiate with them what they have done. So there's something there. There's something bigger going on, and we don't know what it is yet, but we did have a press conference outside W2, a number of the indigenous groups that were kicked out, and we're doing a social media campaign, but we're organizing and developing our own business plan, and we'll be seeking meetings with top-level bureaucrats to try and get them to open those doors ASAP.
So are you hopeful to see W2 reopen?
Well, W2 isn't, for where we're coming from, it's not a space. W2 is the brand of W2 that's been offered. It's a sense of community, it's for development, it's artists, it's all these things. So while the city has shut W2 out, we've actually taken W2 on the road. And so now we've been organizing with them several events with artists. We'll be doing a number of dialogues with ourselves and a number of other urban Aboriginal organizations on Idle No More and other issues. So even though the city's kicked us out, W2 is on the road now. We're going to be organizing several events and having community forums about where we want to see that space go and what we want to do collectively.
If people want to get in touch with you, or
well, we have a website, aboriginalvoice.com, and we're also on Facebook, and we're easily accessible to get through to us on whatever issues.
well, Scott, I'd like to thank you very much for joining me as my guest, and I want to thank you.
Okay, thanks, Scott.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh.
I finished a little too early, I think, there, but
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Are we good? Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay.